Welcome to Uncut with Demoy, another in the series Failure is Not Final. It is very important to know as we live life that we were made from the dust of the earth. Here in our material lies an important information that it is able to get wet and saturated. Just like the soil, it gets inundated with water, gets saturated, and there's a need to conserve the soil. That's what we'll have is land slippages, breakaways, a lot of time to the detriment of those who live within those areas. So in times of flood, you'll see land slippages in many areas if these soil types or these areas have not been conserved. And so in our lives, it's very important for us to understand that we need, in order to avert failure, that we need to understand that we will get saturated. When the rains of this life pour out upon us, whether it's through our marriages or parenting, issues of our daily life, work, wherever we go, we are impacted. And as we are impacted, it impacts our makeup. And because we are empty and waiting to be filled, what we find is that we become saturated by the cares of this life. But the Lord, let me give you a strategy here in which you can overcome the failures that are associated with us capitulating, breaking down, and suffering great loss because of how saturated we are. We were not designed, our makeup was not designed for us to harbor and to contain all that life gives to us. When we look at our design, we'll realize that we have an inlet and we also have an outlet. We have pores on our skin as well, where we discharge perspiration, etc. We have an area that we discharge our waste, because we are not made to contain everything that comes in. So is it physically. We have to understand in the mental spheres of our life, and emotionally we have to also let out what comes in. And at times, because we might have been brought up in a community where there are certain standards and expectation, we feel that we are not in a position to be vulnerable and to share and to tell our failures, etc. But it's very, very important for us to understand that we can't keep all that is happening to us on the inside. We have to get help. We have to get help. And I can tell you, for a person who have sought in my lifetime many help, because I find there is a freedom and a liberation in telling someone what I'm going through, someone trusted. And the Word of God prescribes this. He says that we should confess our faults one to another. I know you might be in a space where it is not easy for you to be vulnerable, but pray to God to find that one particular person that you can sit with and you can be real and you can share it and to tell them what you're going through. Because if you fail to tell them what you're going through, what you'll find is that you'll begin to become saturated, and as you become saturated, you'll begin to break apart. That's what the enemy wants, to break you down until you are far removed from yourself and what is it you were designed to be. You don't have to stay there and crumble under the weight of the moisture that comes from the rain and the saturation that comes from the rain of this life. You don't have to stay there and fall apart and burst because of what is happening. You can't avoid the disappointments and discouragements of this life, but you can certainly avoid depression and mounting stress by finding someone to talk with. Develop an habit to find someone to share what you're going through, and don't internalize it, because the more you internalize it and the more it piles up, you're going to burst. Failure is not final. Don't stay there and die. Whatever has happened to you and you're going through, somebody else have gone through it already. Don't think it's unique to you. No, there is no temptation that is not common to man. And so I say to you, find help. Yes. Failure is not final. I invite you, if this video has been a blessing and you feel the need that you'd like to subscribe to access more of these videos, that you do so. And if you have been blessed, feel free to share this video with someone else. Leave your comments. They're very, very valuable to me. I read them. Yes, and this is how I am blessed by you as you make your comments. Have a good one. Shalom.